This is absolutely ridiculous. Stephen A just called out Jayson Tatum for his inefficient shooting, and we know that he's not having the greatest shooting in this series, but man, oh man, has he stepped up, helping out in the rebound category, the assist category, putting up fantastic numbers. And Jayson Tatum has been double, triple teamed on all this stuff, and we got to break it down because the Celtics fans and the media are calling out for Jayson Tatum not doing the greatest, but he still is balling out for the Boston Celtics. We'll be diving in, looking at how impactful he's been for this team in the playoffs, and seeing is Stephen A wrong for calling him out. All of that and more on this episode. Like I mentioned, I'm Bruce Veliz. Without further ado, before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button as we push for 4,000 subscribers by the end of the playoffs. And as you guys know, make sure to grab a snack because it's going to be a jam-packed episode. And the first topic we're going to be diving in is listening to this. Like I mentioned in the introduction, Stephen A. Smith is out here and he's calling out Jayson Tatum. As he says here, when I look at this tweet from Celtics Adam, we can see that you cannot struggle and not answer the call to the point where it's going to cost you a championship. You can do it against Cleveland, but against the powers in the West, you cannot be the reason the Celtics do not win. So he's calling out Jayson Tatum, saying, you're an inefficient shooting. The way that you have been playing hasn't been the greatest, and you can't do this against other teams. But man, oh man, am I here to prove you wrong, Stephen A. If we want to look at Jayson Tatum, obviously hasn't had the most efficient shooting stats this postseason, looking from top to bottom. But if you want to look and see what he has been contributing, let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, Jayson Tatum got his first career triple-double this postseason in Game 1, notching 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 23 points. And the next game comes out and gets 28 points and 22 points. Now, in Game 4 and Game 5 of that series, he wasn't the most impactful on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, he was huge, nabbing 12 rebounds, 11 rebounds, and 11, basically nabbing double-digit rebounds every game besides 1 out of the 6 that he's played in, helping out in the assist category, getting the blocks and the steals. And even though last night, again, not the greatest from three-point range, over 5, total of 3 blocks, 5 assists, and 11 rebounds, goes to show you that he's helping out in every other which way for this Celtics success. And it leads to those points from guys like Derrick White and from Jaylen Brown. This team has noted that they're going to play through the hot hand, and it's something that we've seen differently. It's not like we have to rely on Tatum and Brown to willingly win us these games, and if they're shooting bad, oh no, we lost the playoff game, it's totally freak-out moment. We got guys like Derrick White, when Kristaps Porzingis comes back, when Jrue Holiday's there, Sam Hauser, Payton, Pritchard, Luke Kornet. The list goes on and on. And these guys will step up, show up, and be huge implications for this Celtics team, especially if Jayson Tatum isn't having the most efficient shooting, which is totally fine. It's totally fine, and it's nothing to freak out about. We want to look at the shots that Jayson Tatum's kind of getting. You want to look at that, ladies and gentlemen? You want to tell me if you want to be able to take that shot, if you're Jayson Tatum, if that's an efficient shot, if that's a good shot, or if you should pass it to Payton Pritchard, or possibly pass it to Derrick White, who is the hot hand, who had 7 for 11 from 3 last night. What do you think is a smart move? What do you think would be the best play? If you're getting triple teamed, would you be averaging 25, 30 points? No. The narrative of the NBA is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Jayson Tatum needs to be the star. Oh, Jayson Tatum needs to drop 25, 30 points or he's not regarded as this huge alpha dog. That's not how the playoffs work anymore, guys. That's not how these teams are built. Obviously, they have their best player, but teams are built off of winning championships as a team culture. Guys like Porzingis knowing their role, Brown knowing their role, White knowing their role, Holiday knowing their role. That's how you're going to win championships now with the new CBA, with all this new roster construction. And the Celtics are proving that right here in front of our eyes. The narratives are going to change, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now. If we want to look at Jayson Tatum's stats through the postseason as well, we can see averaging 21 points, 10.5 rebounds on 5 assists, one block, and half a steal. Absolutely fantastic stats. Don't tell me he's doing anything bad. Yes, he could be averaging more points, but again, by giving up those assists, by averaging those 5 to 6 assists, by getting those 10 rebounds, pushing the transition up on the offensive side, finding guys like Derrick White and Jaylen Brown, it's opening their offensive scheme. It's making them look better as players. Now, if we want to look at his shooting splits, we can obviously see he's not doing the greatest from the field, shooting around 40%. Not the greatest from three-point range as well, shooting 25%, worse compared to the top 3. But Jayson Tatum is averaging the most free throws attempt out of the top 3 at around 8 free throws, and he's making them at an efficient clip as well, which goes to show you that when Jayson Tatum is scoring, he's getting to the rack. When he gets the ball, he's going for those and ones, and he's making those free throws after the fact, which is great to see, as that was a struggle for the Boston Celtics in the regular season. Towards the end was hitting these free throws. We've seen it with Jaylen Brown in the playoffs. We've seen it with Derrick White. But Jayson Tatum, ladies and gentlemen, stepping up and hitting those free throws. And if we want to look at the 2-point percentage, he's shooting 50% from the mid-range. So the man just is struggling from the 3-point range so far in the playoffs, and that will come back to him. That will, waking up in this series. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, nothing to be feared of. We want to look as well at some more stats. 32 assists to 10 turnovers for Jayson Tatum in the postseason so far, as Boston has a 126 offensive rating with him on the court and a 101 with him off the court. So even though his shooting is inefficient, they play better with him on the court because of his defense, because of the blocks he's providing, because of the fact that they have to run 3 guys on him. He is able to give up those extra passes to allow Derrick White, to allow Payton Pritchard, to allow Sam Hauser to hit those shots. And then once again, he has 32 assists to 10 turnovers. Living in his flow state right now, the shots haven't fallen for him yet, and he looks this great. Wait till those 3 start falling. Wait till he starts turning up. You're going to see the narrative change. Oh, Jayson Tatum, is he the best player in the NBA? Yeah. He's one of the top 5 players in the NBA because he can do it on both sides of the floor, and he stays healthy. He's consistent and all of that. We want to look at some more tweets. There are 32 players with 3-plus possessions per game as the pick-and-roll ball handler in the playoffs so far, and Tatum ranks second in points per possession behind Damian Lillard and second lowest in turnover percentage, while Boston is scoring on 56% of these possessions. So Boston, having Jayson Tatum being that pick-and-roll ball handler, I know I've critiqued it myself, having him be that ISO guy, but even when the screens are coming, for Kristaps when he's cut into the basket, for Derrick White rolling to the basket, Jaylen Brown, Jrue Holiday, finding those guys, he's able to do it in every which way, kicking it out to the 3-point line, finding them on a nice roll, having multiple passes around at the top of the key. It has been significant for the Celtics' success with having Jayson Tatum being able to apply that. And like Jay King said, Joe Mazzulla said that the Celtics averaged 1.6 per possession yesterday when Jayson Tatum was the screener, which Joe Mazzulla said would be the best offense in the history of the world. Obviously, Mazzulla is not going to judge Tatum's game simply by his shooting because, again, like we mentioned, look at these contests that the Cavs are giving him. Do you really want Jayson Tatum to take those bad type of shots? Do you want to have repeats of past series in past years where we're complaining, oh, if Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't go off, we don't have that third score. We now have that in Derrick White, have that in Kristaps Porzingis when he's healthy, and now fans want to discredit our stars. No. This team works as a cohesive unit, and they're going to win as one, regardless of who it is that shows up. Porzingis, Derrick White, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum. This team is going to do it all. And like we mentioned, if one of them gets hot, they're going to play through that clutch and hot hand. Like we've seen in recent games, it's been Jaylen Brown and Derrick White. But like we mentioned, Jayson Tatum is still doing everything that he can in his ability to be a solid contributor for this team. Again, like I mentioned, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 10, 10, and 23 points. He is contributing in every single aspect and is doing it all. Let me know what you guys think down below. I think Stephen A is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, is he going to have to turn up offensively for teams like Denver, for teams like Minnesota, for sure. But this Celtics defense will be able to match up against those guys and will be able to make it a little tougher for them as well. So I do believe and he needs to get a little bit more consistent. But do not freak out, ladies and gentlemen. It is not over for this team, and it is not over for Jayson Tatum. Your boy Stephen A needs to take a little bit of a chill pill here because even with Jayson Tatum taking this little back seat on the offensive side, the Celtics are 5-1 in all of their games in the playoffs and only lost 1 game because Miami had a fantastic and historic 3-point shooting night. So once again, I am not worried. I am not fearing anything, and this team is still showing its dominance with its best player being in a shooting slump. As you guys know, before we finish off the video, we got to get to the comment of the day. So let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you guys think? So you could be featured possibly for the comment of the day. And today's comment of the day is going to League Leaders, as he said he was disappointed that he didn't get a tribute video as well, referring to Grant Williams being frustrated. And I thought that this was a bit funny, so I had to include it. League Leaders, I'm disappointed as well. Maybe we can all get our tribute videos. But yes, I know that we brought up Grant Williams not getting his tribute video. Could be, a raise for, was he, a guy that was committed enough for this team that they felt like he was deserving of one, or did they felt like he just, because Robert Williams asked for not getting one, he also felt that the Celtics also felt, hey, if Grant's on the same level of Rob, we don't have to honor him as much as we did with Marcus Smart. Let me know what you guys think down below. Ultimately, I would have liked to see Grant and Rob get tribute videos, but If they didn't, they didn't. It's A-okay. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below on Stephen A., Jayson Tatum, on all the Boston Celtics news. If you guys enjoyed the content, hit the subscribe button as we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers here by the end of the playoffs. Check the other videos at the top, and make sure to tune in to the live watch-along tomorrow, where we'll be breaking down the Boston Celtics Cleveland Cavaliers Game 2. Hope to see you all there. Like I mentioned, I'm Bruce Veliz. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Celtics Digest. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, and go Boston Celtics.